proposal and offer testimony are on my right, Dr. Ann Kahn, and on my left, Mr. Anthony Germaid with NAMI Louisiana. Dr. Kahn?
Hi there. Thank you for asking me to come, giving me the privilege of coming. I'm Representative Falconer.
I'm sorry, please, you're about to do that. Please identify yourself.
Yes. I am a physician. I'm actually a neurologist, and I'm a mother. But most importantly, for our purposes today, I'm the mother of 2 sons that died by suicide. Dr. Ann Kahn. It's been a terrible loss to have lost 2 sons by suicide, a brain illness, particularly because I am a brain scientist. Our lives will never be the same. I'm a survivor of the terrible loss and brain illness that suicide is. I think that somehow the fact that suicide is a brain illness comes from a brain illness hasn't reached popular consciousness because it can't be seen. Like when somebody breaks their arm, we can all see the x-ray and understand that the person has a broken arm. But with suicide, it's a brain illness. But what hasn't reached popular consciousness is that it can be seen with very sophisticated brain imaging. I think the stigma associated with suicide has decreased our ability to get treatment. And I commend Representative Falconer for trying to help with treatment, because treatment does help decrease suicide. The majority of people respond to treatment and their lives can be saved. Suicide is most commonly associated with bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, depression, and anxiety. So why do people kill themselves? They have a mental illness. I mean, and there's a lot of mystery around suicide. There's always the individual triggers, but the underlying reason is that the person has a mental illness, and that this is actually well understood, but not well understood medically, but not well understood by the general public, and we would like to change that and improve treatment. And this is one path to change that, by passing this law and help decrease stigma, educate the public, educate legislators. In Louisiana, we do have a high suicide rate, as Representative Falconer talked about. Our veterans are 10% higher than other veterans around the country, and even our general population has a higher suicide rate. What's interesting and what this bill is going to address is that most people that commit suicide have actually contacted the medical field. 38% of people that die by suicide have seen a medical professional within 1 week of their death. 64% have seen a medical professional within 1 month of their death, and actually 95% of people that die by suicide have contacted the medical field within that year. So they're falling through the cracks. We need to improve our ability to screen and treat these people. I think there's a lot of reasons for that. Being a physician myself, it is difficult, but there are things and tools that can be implemented, and this bill will help create those tools for implementation. Actually, another primary care is the main contact for suicide prevention that we need to work with, because 45% of people that die have seen a primary care physician within 1 month. So we have lost opportunity that we need to address. Many people don't want to have mental health care. It's difficult for people to reach out for help. Only 30% of people that die by suicide are in mental health care. That leaves 70% of people that die that they're not in mental health care at the time of their death. But yet, 45% of them have seen a primary care physician. So we need to find a way to screen and reach out to these people. When people are acutely suicidal, if we can protect them during that short interval, it decreases the rate so much. So what are the barriers to protecting these people? Identifying them and making inpatient care available. We do have an inpatient crisis. of beds, psychiatric beds, because when people are acutely suicidal, if they can be hospitalized during that interval and stabilized and put into care, it's life-saving. As Representative Falconer just said, there can be as much as an 80% decrease in rates. So there's a large population that we can serve, not only those people, but their family members like myself, that can enjoy the company of their loved one. The bill also addresses getting faith-based groups involved. I know in Lafayette there's a movement with the Catholic Church where they're training people, the clergy, to interact, and many people, when they won't go for mental health care, they'll talk to their clergy member. And we need to have more programs to train the clergy how to handle these problems and direct people to the appropriate care to keep them safe while they're in crisis. And I just want to conclude by again thanking you guys for hearing this bill, and we ask for your vote.
Thank you.